You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks for joining us on Ace Country Radio. And we're also streaming at KPVM.TV. We're also on your Roku devices. It is Tuesday, October 14th. In our top story, the Nye County Sheriff's Office makes an arrest of a naked woman. She's now in custody. Haley Grabby reports.
On October 13th, authorities in Pahrump arrested a woman over the weekend after she was spotted walking nude along the side of the road. Deputies say it happened near Gamebird Road and Homestead Road. When questioned, the woman claimed she had recently woken up and was helping a friend to look for their identification, adding that it was too hot to wear clothes. She was taken into custody and booked on the charge of indecent exposure or obscene exposure.
And it's currently raining right now on both sides of the hump on Mountain Springs on the way to Pahrump in Las Vegas. But rain didn't stop nude cyclists in Portland as they pedaled through the city in protest of ICE.
In Portland, Oregon, a group of demonstrators recently gathered outside the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, facilities as part of a protest. Some participants wore little or no clothing, a style of demonstration organizers referred to as a nude protest. Video recorded by multiple news outlets shows protesters riding bicycles, scooters, and roller skates while others marched on foot in the rain. Some individuals wore costumes and onesies, including axolotl suits. Footage also showed a few people lying on the street before getting up to rejoin the protest. A number of participants brought their children to the demonstration. The protest drew mixed reactions from the public and local officials and sparked discussion online about protest methods and public decency laws. As of now, no arrests or citations have been publicly reported by authorities.
In national news, today marks the birthday of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. And here in Pahrump, residents honored his life and legacy. A community gathering is set to take place this evening at the Calvada Eye, beginning at 5:30 p.m. State Assemblyman Greg Hafen and other local dignitaries are expected to be in attendance, joining residents as they reflect on Kirk's impact and share stories about his message that impacted others to get involved and act on their beliefs. Organizers say tonight's event isn't just about remembrance, but about continuing Kirk's championed thoughts throughout his career. And in more international news, Hamas carries out a series of killings in Gaza, citing crime and security concerns as justification.
In a dramatic and unsettling turn of events, a video surfaced Monday showcasing 7 men being executed in Gaza City by armed Hamas soldiers. According to Reuters, the surroundings and their attire matched those seen in previous Hamas footage, and the location was confirmed through visual surroundings. A Hamas source told Reuters that the video is real and that the executions that took place were also real. The victims were Palestinians. Hamas claims they were vowing to crack down on the violators of order, including collaborators, looters, and drug dealers. The video has raised alarm over the stability of the newly signed peace agreement between Israel and Hamas. This also raised many questions of whether Hamas was following through on the peace treaty or simply killing people out of retaliation towards the treaty.
And rebels are rolling, and the Golden Knights are taking their show to the road. Mikey Ruhan has all that exciting news and more in sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. The UNLV Running Rebels football team are officially bowl eligible for the third straight season. And if you're counting at home, that's more bowl trips than your Aunt Carol's casserole. UNLV took down Air Force to improve to a perfect 6-0. Head coach Dan Mullen has his team looking more dialed in than your uncle on a Vegas buffet line. Next up, a tough road test in Boise against the Broncos. Kickoff is Saturday at 12:30 p.m. And yes, it will be cold. Danny Hamlin punched his ticket to the NASCAR Championship final with a win at Las Vegas Motor Speedway over the weekend, his 60th victory, and maybe his most meaningful yet. He's already a 3-time Daytona 500 champ. Believe it or not, he's still chasing his first Cup Series title. The Vegas Golden Knights are north of the border tonight, taking on the Calgary Flames. Puck drop at 6 p.m., so cancel the dinner plans and fire up the nachos. Meanwhile, the Knights are also taking their talents and their mascot to Arizona from October 24th through the 26th. They'll hit Phoenix and Scottsdale for youth hockey clinics, fan events, and watch parties. There'll be autographs, ice time, and even Derek Englund Q&A. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thanks so much, Mikey. And we have new monuments here in Pahrump. All that news and more when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, in local news, a new monument now stands at the Pahrump Valley Museum honoring the upcoming 250th anniversary of the U.S. And the tribute is unveiled by the Pahrump Springs chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution during a patriotic ceremony this weekend.
On October 11th, the Pahrump Springs chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution unveiled a new rock monument at the Pahrump Valley Museum, commemorating the upcoming 250th anniversary of the United States of America. The event began with a warm welcome from Deanna O'Donnell, followed by the posting of the colors from Boy Scout Troop 444. After the opening prayer, the Nevada Silver Tappers took the stage with a patriotic performance honoring the momentous occasion. Donations were presented by the Daughters of the American Revolution to both the Nevada Silver Tappers and Boy Scout Troop 444, recognizing their dedication and community involvement. Pahrump Springs chapter member and District Court Judge Kimberly Wonker introduced special guests and thanked everyone for attending.
Foremost, though, before I introduce the special guests, the really special guests are you that came out and supported us today. And we are very grateful to each and every one of you for attending. So thank you very much. Give yourself a hand. Now, we had a number of invited guests today, so if you just hold your applause to the end. First of all, we have our Nye County Commissioners, Bruce Jabor, Deborah Strickland, Ron Boscovich, and John Koenig. Thank you very much for coming today. We also have former Commissioner Frank Carboni. He's here.
Nevada Assembly Minority Floor Leader Gregory Hafen delivered a moving speech, commending the DAR for their ongoing efforts to preserve the nation's history while honoring future generations.
You've turned patriotism into action, honoring the past while investing in the future, and today, with the America 250 monument, you add yet another lasting symbol of gratitude and remembrance, one that will inspire generations to come. The America 250 Patriots markers, like the one we dedicate today, stand as timeless tributes to the enduring spirit of liberty and to the courage of the men and women whose sacrifices gave birth to our nation. 250 years ago, their legacy still calls to us to remember that freedom was not given but earned, not guaranteed but defended, not for one generation but for all who come after.
Hafen also presented 2 proclamations to the organization in recognition of their service.
And if I could have a representative from the DAR come up, I have 2 proclamations that I would love to present. One is from the Lieutenant Governor, Stavros Anthony, and the other is from myself. May these proclamations remind us all to reflect upon courage, sacrifice, and unity, the revolutionary generation, and to celebrate America's 250th birthday with renewed devotion and liberty, patriotism, and service to our community and our country. May God bless the daughters of the American Revolution, the people of Pahrump, and the great United States of America.
The ceremony concluded with the unveiling of the monument and a wreath-laying tribute, honoring all past and present military members for their sacrifices in defense of our country.
And please stay tuned, as most people in our health news have short, itchy nuisances. But this next report dives into a form of hives that unfortunately keeps coming back, months at a time often.
Today's health report is brought to you by Desert View Hospital. When you or a loved one needs medical attention, Desert View Hospital is ready to help. We've been providing friendly and compassionate care to our neighbors since 2006, including emergency services available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit desertviewhospital.com to learn more. With limited exceptions, physicians are not employees or agents of this hospital.
Many of us think of hives as a brief allergic reaction. They're itchy and uncomfortable, but usually gone within hours or a few days. For nearly 1.7 million people in the U.S., however, hives are chronic and unpredictable. This condition is called chronic spontaneous urticaria, or CSU, and it causes recurring hives and itching that last longer than 6 weeks, often with no known cause.
So chronic spontaneous urticaria, or CSU, is a chronic immune-driven condition that results in itchy, burning hives that can occur anywhere on the body, and they keep on coming. And for about 30% of people who have this condition, deeper swelling called angioedema.
Even with a confirmed diagnosis, many people struggle to control their CSU. Most are advised to take antihistamines to manage symptoms, but up to 50% of patients still experience hives despite treatment.
Now, there are 3 key things you got to know about diagnosing this. First, for the urticaria piece, each individual hive should not last longer than 24 hours. You can certainly get more of them, but that one, if I'm pointing to your shoulder, it should be gone by the next day. Now, the chronic piece refers to timing. So chronic urticaria is defined by hives that are occurring for longer than 6 weeks. And finally, and probably the most important piece and the hardest for people to grapple with, is going to be there's no root cause.
There are now advanced treatments that may help some CSU patients. Talking with your doctor is the best first step to see what might work for you.
We tried to give you a bit of a warning there, but it's still vital news and vital video to see if you or someone you know is suffering from conditions such as that. News 25 will be right back.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, in today's electrifying news, October is National Cooperative Month. So Valley Electric Association is sharing the basics of what a co-op is and how they work for our members.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
Our story starts back in 1844 in not-so-merry England. where a group of weavers, fed up with the high price of company store groceries, pooled their money to buy their own food, creating a new form of business, the cooperative. The idea caught on. Here in the U.S., President Roosevelt gave electric cooperatives a jumpstart with the founding of the Rural Electrification Administration, the REA, telling American farmers and ranchers, if you want electricity, you can do it yourselves. And they did. Rural men and women quickly began scraping together the $5 needed for membership and equity in the co-op. Up went the poles and wire and lines to bring rural folks what they so desperately needed, power. Soon, electric cooperatives popped up all across the country, transforming the way of life in rural America. Today, there are more than 900 electric co-ops in the U.S., bringing electricity to some 42 million Americans. So how do cooperatives work? First off, cooperatives are not for profit. Money comes in from members when they pay their electric bills. Money goes out to pay co-op expenses. A little bit is set aside for emergencies and the future. Any left over is returned to members. Pretty sweet, huh? But it's not just about the money. Co-ops exist only to serve their members. They have a unique set of cooperative principles. All may join, regardless of race or gender or creed. That's the first principle of cooperatives: voluntary and open membership. Members vote for their directors to lead their co-op. They vote yay or nay on big issues. Majority rules. That's the principle of democratic member control. Everyone pays a little money to become a member. An owner. We call that principle participating economically. Cooperatives believe and invest in education, training, and information. That makes them smart and sets them apart. Cooperatives stand on their own two legs. Decisions are made locally for local people. We call that principle autonomy and independence. But cooperatives also work together. They join forces to restore outages after storms, get financing, do research, and speak up in the halls of government. We call this hallowed principle cooperation among cooperatives. It's what makes us strong. And co-ops have a heart, a big heart. They help kids and industries and communities to grow. They give to hospitals and fire stations, ballparks and businesses. Cooperatives deeply demonstrate this principle: concern for community. Community. Community's a cool concept. Communities are just groups of people. And that is the cooperative's secret ingredient. It's the dedicated people who work day in and day out to provide reliable and affordable power. It's the elected people who shape the policies and tackle the big issues. For the most important group of people, the members. Members. The whole reason cooperatives exist. Now that's the cooperative difference. And that's the cooperative advantage. Brought to you by the passionate people of NRECA.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Time to take a mid-October look through our Lerner and Rowe WeatherCam at our news towers and our transmission towers at Mount Arden in Henderson. It's a beautiful day, but there are scattered clouds and scattered showers in the area. It's currently raining.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
Let's take a look at our weather in Pahrump, Las Vegas and the surrounding areas. Currently, it is raining around Mountain Springs on both sides of the hump between Pahrump and Las Vegas. And the highs today in Death Valley, 74 with a low of 53. Las Vegas is high only 72 with high humidity due to rain in the surrounding areas with a low tonight of 50 degrees. Amargosa's high 64. Beatty, 60, Goldfield and Tonopah top out at 46. Carson City and the Reno and surrounding areas are under a winter weather advisory with highs in the upper 40s and lows in the upper 30s. Fallon and Fernley top out in the low to mid 50s. And in Pahrump, it is currently 56 degrees and raining. Today's high was 68 degrees with winds out of the south at 9 miles per hour. Humidity is very high at 71%. Sunrise was at 6:50 a.m. And tonight, expect an overnight low of 45 degrees in Pahrump with winds out of the southeast at 11 miles per hour. Humidity remains high at 68%. Sunset will be at 6:08 p.m. And looking ahead to our 7-day forecast, tomorrow, there's still a chance of scattered showers with humidity remaining high at 48%, but the high will be around 62 degrees with a low of 44. Thursday, humidity remains moderately high at 42%. Still some chances of scattered showers, but those temperatures increase about 9 degrees to top out at 71 degrees. And Friday, those temps keep increasing throughout the weekend with highs in the mid to upper 70s throughout Friday and Saturday and topping out at 80 on Sunday with the sun returning. The beginning of our work week is going to top out in the mid to low 70s with lows in the upper 40s. So grab jackets out there. It is officially starting to be October and fall weather. And grab an umbrella and stay safe out there on the roads while it is raining and slick. That does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Days Country Radio, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the air next newscast. We'd also like to say rest in peace to neo-soul singer D'Angelo, who unfortunately died at the age of 51 from pancreatic cancer. Rest in peace, he and those dreaming eyes of his. Good night.